Welcome to You Make the Difference. I'm Wanda Walker, and today I'm talking to Ashley Mayfield, who is a board member for the Junior Service League. Welcome to the show, Ashley.
Thank you for having me.
Oh, you're so welcome. I visited Jessica O'Neill, who's the president of the Junior Service League, recently to tell her that we were glad that y'all were part of the Chamber of Commerce.
Yes, definitely.
And while I was there, we had such an interesting conversation about the Junior Service League that I wanted to have somebody from the league on the show so that people could hear about the Junior Service League and hopefully get more involved.
Yes.
Yes. Okay, so tell us about the history of the Junior Service League.
It actually started in 1973. They had 12 members. It was a lady out of Atlanta came down and went to people like Gail Honeycutt and said, I've always been a member of the Junior League, which is a national organization. And she was like, I really want us to, you know, have something like that here that promotes volunteerism and stuff like that. So 12 ladies met at the country club one day for lunch, and they had this huge meeting, and Gail tells the story like amazingly, but they went up to Atlanta and met with the lady that is in Junior League that they were friends with, and they came back and sat down and wrote out our bylaws, which actually favor the ones of Junior League nationally. It's just a different branch of it.
Yes, and I was surprised that it had started in 1973, and also surprised that I knew like Gail Honeycutt was involved. I had never known that they were the ones who had started the league. And the mission of the league is to...
It's still to promote the volunteerism and, you know, get the community involved, you know, with different aspects of like Boys and Girls Club and, you know, community things.
Yes, and you also raise funds through the Junior Service League.
Yes.
Tell me some of the ways that you raise funds.
We have several events each year that money goes directly towards the Boys and Girls Club. We donate a lot to the women's shelter here in LaGrange. We've done the Team Maze before. There's been several events in the past that we've, you know, helped fund for those.
Yes, and you know, one of the things that I realized that was the Junior Service League ladies are very serious about service in the community.
Definitely.
And going into these different organizations to help. And they also, you can tell that when somebody's serious, if they're willing to write a grant.
Yes.
And so the Junior Service League writes grants as well as funds local programs through the agencies that are already here.
Yes.
And some of those grants are significant amounts of money, which is very impressive. Now, if somebody is in the Junior Service League, tell me what's expected.
Your first year, everybody says, is probably the worst year, but it's honestly, it's not. You have 30 hours to complete your first, you know, service year, but we have 3 big events each year, and you do 10 hours for each one, and 10 hours from August to May is really not, you know, a lot when you sit there and look at it. You do a provisional class project, which is where you and the group of girls that's in your class together come up with a fundraiser or some type thing to do, and you decide what organization in the community you would like the money to be donated to. And I mean, it's definitely a team building type thing, so you can learn every aspect of the league.
So it's 30 hours the first year. Is it less after that?
You're just required to work. AdExcel is our big thing we do each year. So you're required to work that after, and you have to give like a certain amount of hours, but it's not. It's maybe like 4 hours at most.
Oh, wow.
To the other parts.
Yes. Well, now 30 hours in that period of time, that may not seem like a lot, but y'all are very busy women, aren't you? And
yes.
and you're in the age group where a lot of you have children, and so it's in that busy time of your life, but yet you're finding time to do service in the community.
Yes.
And to help foster those programs that are already doing great things in the community. So I mean, it's really an ideal organization. If somebody is going to start an organization to be able to provide volunteers to works that are already worthy in the community and to fundraise
Yes.
for those organizations. I mean, that is really an awesome goal.
Yeah, and a lot of people think it's very overwhelming your first year, and I mean, there's moms, there's nurses, there's teachers. I mean, we all have crazy schedules, and we still, manage to get the stuff done that we need to get done.
Yes. Now, one of the events that is coming up really soon is the attic sale.
Yes.
Tell me about the attic sale.
The attic sale, now I've got to pause, has been funding our league for many, many years, and we raise anywhere from about $30,000 a year, and that funds the league for the whole year. And we depend on donations for this. And if anybody has a donation that they would like to give, you can call 706-594-3614, and April Pennington will get that set up. We will set up a time that works best for you, and someone can come up to your house or your office or wherever and pick your stuff up for you, and we get you a tax write-off for that. The sale's always the first Saturday in October. And we do a preview sale the night before, and it's Friday night, the 2nd. It's $5 to get in, and you pay price and a half. And then Saturday morning, it starts at 8, and you can pay $5 to get in early. 8:30, you pay $1.
Yes. So anybody can afford to go to this.
Yes, it is not expensive by any means.
Yes, and it is a huge yard sale.
Yes.
And our attic sale,
yes.
isn't it? All right, so it's located at Westbrook Tire.
Yes, the old Westbrook Tire building.
Yes, and that building is just chock full.
Yes, we pack it full of things.
Okay, so if somebody goes on the preview night, how much of your merchandise goes out of the building on that preview night?
A good bit, surprisingly. We have a lot of people, because people are of the mindset, oh, if I get there early, I'm going to get the best stuff. And yeah, you are paying price and a half for it, but in the grand scheme of things, I mean, it's not super expensive to go anyways. So you're not paying, you might be paying $12 for something that would be $8 the next day.
Yes.
And it's actually, I'm one of those, I go the night before.
Yes. And what's something that you bought on that night that you really liked?
We have a boutique area, and a lot of the local boutiques will donate stuff, and they have these really cute like throw pillows for your couch. So I make sure that I get those each year because I like to switch them out.
Yeah, that's good. And I remember a story with the attic sale in my family. We had somebody that lived away from here, and he had come and he went to the attic sale, and he found this huge box of shoes. It was, I mean, they were colors that probably nobody would wear.
I'm sure.
But he had this idea that he was going to buy that big box of shoes, and he was going to sell those shoes. And he was so excited about those shoes. Now, I don't know if he sold any of them or not.
Hey, but some people get very excited about the stuff they find there.
Yeah, they do. All right, and you as a board member have worked on some other events. Y'all have some other events coming up? Let's tell what those events are.
In the past, we do Pickin' in the Park each year, which is our charity concert, but we're going to take the year off from that this year and do one event that's been done, we've done before, but a completely new one. We're going to do Casino Night, which is going to be January 16th at Delavant. And then we're also going to have a teddy bear tea around Easter. It'll be the weekend, or 2 weekends, or the weekend before Easter. And it'll be for, the kids, and we'll have an Easter egg hunt and all of that stuff.
Yes. So who comes up with the ideas for the projects?
The previous board meets with a committee that we have set up that, they basically sit there and brainstorm for several hours. Okay, what is something that, we can do that's different? And that's the reason we're doing Casino Night this year, is because we wanted something to where our husbands could get involved, and it's not just a women thing.
Yes.
And so a lot of the men are very excited about the Casino Night.
Yes, and how much do you hope to raise at the Casino Night?
We're hoping to raise about $10,000 for that, and that money will go to the Boys and Girls Club.
Yes, yes. All right, so you really get the community involved in your projects, right?
Yes.
And so, like with the attic sale, they're involved in donating?
Yes.
And then they're involved in the shopping?
Definitely, because we are of a firm believer someone else's trash is our treasure.
Yes, and so tell me about what people donate.
My first year was last year, so seeing all of this stuff come in was like crazy to think, why would you get rid of this? I still have this at my house. You donate anything from shoes, like we take a lot of kids stuff, anywhere from toys to clothes, shoes, swimsuit, like whatever, anything to like play outside with. Adults, we don't really take a lot of adult clothing just because, you never know. We do take coats and stuff because a lot of people, you'd be surprised the amount of people that come in for that. Linens, like tablecloths, comforters, pillows, a lot of holiday stuff, anywhere from Valentine's Day to Christmas. We have a lot of picture frames, furniture. I mean, it's one of those things, you name it, if you want to donate it, we'll take it.
That's right. And so it takes a lot of work to get everything done, doesn't it?
Yeah, because when the donations come in, we have an entire committee that goes through there and sorts every bit of it to, okay, this is going to go in this section, this is in this section, and they price all of it out. And then we have a setup committee that comes in once the tables come to Westbrook that have to go around and put each thing, okay, this is going to look best here. It's basically like you're working on a display in the mall.
Yes. Okay, tell me about an experience that you've had with Junior Service League that was very meaningful for you.
Last year was my provisional year, and for our provisional project, we did Breakfast with Santa. They had done the teddy bear tea the year before, the class before us, and there's not a lot to do in LaGrange at Christmas time. I mean, they have Santa on the square, but it's not, a lot for kids to do. And so we came up with the idea for Breakfast with Santa, and we had Santa come. We had a professional photographer take your picture with him, and you decorated a cookie and an ornament and made reindeer food to put out. And we had Elsa and Anna from Frozen. And there was you paid to have breakfast, and then we had a silent auction. And just seeing, after working on it, you're thinking, oh, good Lord, I've put in all this time. I hope this works. But seeing the kids come through it and, their faces light up, that makes all your, long hours sitting there dealing with it worth every penny. And we donated all of that money to the Sheriff's Youth Home, the Pineland campus here. Okay,
and tell me about the Sheriff's Home. That you have a family connection with that. Tell me about that.
Yes, my husband actually works for the Troup County Sheriff's Office. He is one of the canine officers there. And my parents have been very involved with the youth home and stuff throughout my life. So when it came down to, okay, well, who do we want to donate the money to? It just seemed fitting for that to be where we were going to go buy their Christmas, but then we thought, they can just take the money and do whatever they're going to need with it instead of just saying, okay, you can only use this for Christmas. You go buy what you're going to need for these kids.
Yes, and I recently had an opportunity to go to the Sheriff's Home, and I was very impressed with it. Can you tell me a little bit about the Sheriff's Home, maybe who they serve and what their mission is?
It's definitely the kids from this area. As far as I don't really know the requirements for you to be there. I don't think you can be there past the age of 18. I think at 18 they put you out on your own, help you get started somewhere.
Yes.
But I mean, it's very good for kids that not necessarily have a home and are just put out and you don't have anybody to take care of them. They definitely take them in and help teach them, hey, this is right from wrong. This is what you need to do with your life.
Yes, it's really impressive.
Yes.
I really want to have them on the show too and let them talk about it and let the community know more about it.
It's a very good organization, and I mean, if you haven't been, you really should just go out there and just spend a couple of hours, and it takes a special person to do what they do every day.
Yes. Now tell me what attracted you to the Junior Service League.
I've lived in LaGrange my whole life, and I've always been really big into hospice and volunteering there and with the hospital and the nursing home and stuff. And my cousin's wife was actually in the league, and she's like, as much as you like to volunteer,
yes,
you should come help us because we have lots of fun with it. And I was a little reserved about it at first because it's all the hours and all that kind of stuff. So I was definitely one of those people that's I don't know if I have that kind of time. But once you get in it and you meet the people and you develop the relationships, I mean, next thing you know, you're having dinner with their husband and, your husband's there, and you make these lifelong friendships through the league.
Yes. Yes, and it's fun.
Yes, it is a lot of fun.
Yeah. Okay, you mentioned that you volunteered for hospice. Tell us about that.
My mom actually is the one that got me to start doing that. Both of my grandparents had to be put in hospice when I was in high school, and my aunt actually works in the administration part of the hospice. And just going out there and just, making sure that if someone doesn't have someone to sit with that might be there, just spending that time with them, it means the world to someone.
Yes.
And, it might not seem like a lot, but just sitting there with them in the grand scheme of things to them is everything.
Yes. And I believe, like, when you're dying, sometimes you have no idea who's going to come around you during that process. And also, like, when you're a Christian, you love the Lord, if there's nobody really there, the Lord really steps in and,
definitely.
and begins to send people to minister to you and help you through that.
Yeah, because it's a very, very difficult time. And, you might not be there for the person that's in hospice, but the family.
Yes.
Just being like a lending ear for them and letting them know, yeah, this is a difficult time, but they'll be in a better place.
Yes. And right before we came up for the interview, we met Kevin Dunn on the street. Did you know Kevin before?
I've not met him before. He looks really familiar, though.
Yes, you may have seen him at hospice.
Probably. That might be where.
Yeah, because he sings and he goes and he ministers at hospice. And so he has a heart for that, too.
Yes, it takes a big heart to sit there with all that.
Yes. All right, now you're over some events. You're over the casino event.
Yes.
Did you want to put a plug in there for that?
Definitely. We're actually going to do our first teaser for the event next Thursday at the Symphony Guild Luncheon at Delevant. We're decorating a table for that just to let people know, hey, it's going to, be here. But it's going to be Saturday, January 16th. It'll be $50 a person to get in, and that includes your food and 2 drink tickets. And we're going to do a bourbon tasting on the rooftop. And we're also having a cigar company come in and sell cigars. So if you wanted to have a cigar with your bourbon, we'll have a silent auction. We have a VIP area that you can buy a table. And we have a casino company coming in out of Atlanta that's going to do everything for us. And we'll have anything from blackjack tables to craps, roulette, slot machines. We're hoping it's going to be a really big event. We're going to raffle off a Yeti cooler and a Tory Burch purse also.
Yeah, those Yeti coolers, they're a big deal now, aren't
yes. they? Everybody wants one. My husband keeps telling me, you should get me one for Christmas.
How much are they?
The smallest one they have is like $250.
Oh, wow.
And I'm like, you're going to use it a lot, I hope?
I know the Emmaus shelter just raffled off one,
yes.
and it was a big deal.
Oh, people love them.
Yeah, and I haven't even gotten to where I understand exactly what all they do. But
yeah, no, I don't either. I'm just like, it's a nice cooler.
Yeah, that's good. All right, so the Junior Service League is so involved in the community that they are influencing children.
Yes.
At the Boys and Girls Club. Now, they help fund. Do they volunteer there?
We have some league members that go volunteer there, but a majority of our money each year is donated to the Boys and Girls Club. That's one organization that's like near and dear to us.
Yes. Tell me some organizations where you volunteered. You have volunteered.
I have volunteered with the Boys and Girls Club back when I was in high school.
Yes.
Which was a good while ago. But just seeing like the time they take with those kids, because it's kids you wouldn't necessarily think would be there. And it's someone, like a lot of the parents that have their kids in Boys and Girls Club, they work till 7 o'clock at night.
Yes.
So, ACE and stuff like that ends at 5. So Boys and Girls Club is definitely a good thing for kids that their parents work weird hours, because they go above and beyond to make sure your kids do their homework. They have a snack. They, play with them. And I mean, it's not just, little kids. It's middle school kids. There's high school kids in it. Like they service them all. They
do. And they like to have a wide range of things that the children are involved in. And Bart McFadden was on the show, and he said that those children actually do better in school.
Yes.
As looking at them as a whole than just the regular students that are in school.
Yeah, so it's like it gives them the the initiative to want to get school finished with and not think, oh, it's something I don't have to worry about.
Yes.
It reminds them that, hey, you're going for a reason.
Yes, and it's, their programs are very effective.
Yes.
And they really want to take them to the next level And they do.
Oh, they do. I mean, it's not like they're all in a big room together. They have them broken up into like, okay, this is the elementary school kids and the middle school ones. And I think they put the 8th graders in with the high school kids just so, because that's always an awkward transition between 8th grade and 9th grade. So they try and, you know, make sure everybody feels just as important no matter what age you are.
Yes. Okay, now let's review in case somebody has come in at the end or the tail end. Let's talk about the attic sale again.
Okay.
And tell me the dates, give me the preview night and all the information about that.
All right. It is October 3rd is our actual sale day. It's always the first weekend in October. It is the Friday night before is October 2nd, and you can pay $5 to get in there. It's from 6 to 8, and it's price and a half. And then Saturday morning, you can come in as early as 8 o'clock, and you'll pay a $5 entry fee then, or you can do the general admission at 8:30, which is $1. And I think the sale ends, we usually end about 1 o'clock, 2 o'clock at the latest.
Yes. Now, if somebody wanted to be a member of the Junior Service League, what would you tell them?
Well, don't freak out about the hours like everybody else does, first off. And really sit down. If you don't know a league member personally, we have a Facebook page. And just go to the Facebook page and send a message. And someone that is on the board is the one that handles the, you know, Facebook and our email and all that stuff. And they will be happy to sit down with you and tell you, like, everything that the league, you know, entails, and make sure that, you know, you understand, you know, what it is that we do, and make sure that it's something you're interested in. But we would love to have people.
Yes. And so how long do people usually stay in the league?
You have 8 years in the league, and then you go sustainer.
Okay.
And they swear they have more fun than we do.
Oh,
so
really?
I'm real interested to get to that.
Because you've been in the league 2 years?
2 years.
And you've been on the board a year?
A year.
That's great. Now, do you know anything that the sustainers do?
They help us a lot with a good bit of our stuff. Like for our attic sale day, you know, we can't leave. We're there from 7 o'clock in the morning until 4 o'clock in the afternoon, and they actually provide us with lunch or snacks and drinks and stuff like that. They come. One of the members comes and sits in on all of our board meetings, all of our general meetings. They're more like an advisor to us to, you know, let us know, okay, hey, why don't you try this way? I mean, they're a big support for us. They help us tremendously.
Yeah, they want to see you succeed.
Yes, exactly.
And they help sustain you, it seems.
Yes.
Yeah, so that is wonderful. It's always nice to have mentors to carry you through the process,
yes, and
isn't it?
They are amazing.
Yes. Tell me at least one of the people that are a sustainer.
Let's see, there's Gail Honeycutt. We have Ellen Harris is also one. Miss Andrea Lovejoy.
Yes.
She's actually our sustainer for the year that will be at all of our general meetings and board meetings. And Gail Honeycutt was the one for last year. Of course, everybody loves Miss Gail. You just can't help but love her.
That's right. Okay, and then you mentioned that y'all did Pickin' in the Park.
Yes.
Tell me how that went.
It was a very good event. I was actually supposed to be the chair of that for this year had we had done it. So it's a big change going from concert to casino night. But there's a lot of work that goes into that event. And they have to, I mean, I found out about casino night in April and I started it. I can only imagine when they would have to start planning for an event that large. And we're hoping that when we do start doing it next year that we can have it at the amphitheater. That's our next goal is to, you know, do that. So we're very excited for that day.
Yeah, and we're all excited about the amphitheater opening, aren't we?
Yes.
Yeah, that's going to be wonderful for the community.
Oh, definitely. I think it'll bring a lot of revenue into LaGrange.
Yes. All right. How old do you have to be to be in the
24.
Junior Service League? And we said we don't know if there's an age that you...
I don't think there's an age you can't be in it. Yeah, you have to be at least 24 years old to be in the league, and you have to have lived in LaGrange. I want to say 6 months to a year.
Yes.
And you have to be able to have a endorser, which is basically someone that is a current member or a sustainer in the league that knows you, that can vouch for you, and then you have to have 2 sponsors to basically do the same thing, and you have a sustainer that comes up and says the same. You have a good bit of people that know you.
Yeah. So do you recruit people, or do people asked to join?
Both.
Both.
At the end of the year, probably March, February, March, we start looking at our friends of, okay, people that were mentioned, oh, I'm interested in doing that when they come to an event that we do, and they're like, I mean, you just have so much fun with this. We
Yes.
think about those people, and we have a good bit of people that contact us and say, I'm very interested, because, you know, we have a lot of fun.
Yes.
We do.
So out of the 100 people that are in the Junior Service Leagues, you've developed friendships with probably how many?
Well, you're very close with your class that you go through because you spend so much time with them. You know, you have to go to, you know, a meeting each month. We have one every third Thursday. But being a provisional, you also have another meeting you have to go to as provisional meeting. And my provisional class, we started out with about 30 people, and I think we ended with about 20. And a lot of those girls are girls that, you know, you spend a good bit of time with.
Yes.
And my husband and I have definitely made a lot of friends through the league, like as far as couples and stuff, which is really good when, you know, there's not a lot of couples your age that are, you know, already married.
Right, right. Well, it sounds like the Junior Service League really builds the community, but also builds the people within it.
Yes.
And builds relationships with the people who are in it, but also helps them build relationships out into the community, which is a really
Yes.
great thing. And I would think that that would be really important if there are new people coming into the city, to be able to give them a place to connect.
Oh, definitely. We have a girl this year that just joined the league. Her and her husband moved here a year ago, and she did not have that many friends, and she's like, this is awesome. You know,
Yes.
I've made a lot of friends just in the first couple of weeks.
Yes. And you know, church groups do basically what the Junior Service League does,
Yes.
in that they give people an opportunity to come together,
Yes.
and also to build relationships and give them a place to serve. But you know, raising those funds,
Yes.
that is so key, and we just appreciate what the Junior Service League has done for the community.
We appreciate all the support of the community because we could not do it without you guys also.
Yes. Okay. All right. So I would just like to thank everybody for watching You Make the Difference, and to encourage you to support the Junior Service League in the attic sale. That'll be October 3rd. And also, if you're interested in being a part of the Junior Service League, that you contact
The Facebook page or a current member of the league, or you can email the website.
Yes. And you will certainly make a difference through the Junior Service League. Thank you very much for watching, and we'll see you next week.
Got a promise from heaven. It's a year of replevin'. Got a promise from heaven, it's all coming